What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Spur-Spective. We've taken a couple of weeks off on this, actually. These, what you can see on screen right now, are the updated scores. We did still do the predictions over the last couple of game weeks. So it's 243 to Sim, 217 to me, with a range of fixtures we're going to get through in a second. But the way the scoring works, it's 5 points for a correct scoreline, 3 points for a correct result on both teams to score, 1 point for a correct result, and the star man as well, which is 2 points for a goal, 1 point for an assist. But first and foremost, Sim, how are you feeling?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm just testing positive, so I've got to isolate, but I'm feeling okay. Just a bit of a cough.
Good. All right, well, let's get into it, and let's start off with Arsenal against Manchester City, which finished 2-1 to Manchester City on the day. I went 3-0, you went 3-1. So you get 3 points, I get 1 point for this one. It was a really good game of football, this, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I got to say, Arsenal for the first hour or so were very impressive. They really played Man City off the park. You could say, people were saying maybe it's because Arsenal had a few more days, fresher, because City played a few games in a few days. But you can only play how it is. And I think Arsenal were very, very good on the day and were very unlucky to come away with a loss. But I would say as well, they were 1-0 up, playing very well. And they did seem to crumble a bit under the pressure, I think.
Yeah.
And they, Xhaka, that's a penalty. Whatever Arsenal fans think about their penalty in the first half, and they were probably unlucky with it. There was a penalty from Xhaka on Bernardo Silva, definite penalty. And I
you can't go pulling shirts in the box, can you?
And he tripped him. I think he tripped him and pulled his shirt. I think both of them was a penalty. And then as well, Gabriel was deservedly sent off. So from that point of view, you can't complain too much when you kind of self-implode like that. But they played well for an hour. I guess that's all the credit they deserve for that. And it's going to going into North London derby. It's going to be interesting to see who has the momentum going into it, because we've been on good form results wise. Arsenal obviously on back of a loss, but playing well. So be interesting to see who has more confidence.
Yeah, it's an exciting game, that's for sure, for the neutral, but it's still some way to go. Both teams having 3 games to play before that North London derby. But that's that. I mean, yeah, it is worrying that Arsenal did play as well as they did, but they did implode. I mean, as soon as that penalty or the decision that went against them, and they just seemed to lose their heads. They really did. But let's move on. Watford against Spurs finished 1-0 to Spurs, and the last gasp winner in the last minute from Davinson Sanchez. You went 2-1, I went 2-0, so role reversal here. You get 1 point, I get 3 points. And you would say a deserving victory for Spurs. Well, it's a shame we had to leave it so late.
Yeah, we did struggle to break him down pretty much throughout most of the game. I wouldn't say we got lucky, because I think, again, it's like it's very similar to Southampton. Like during the game, we really struggled to break him down, but we did create enough openings where you're thinking like we should be taking all 3 points here. But the lack of creativity of an open play, unless we get it to the wide areas where Emerson and Reguilon's crossing was very much off it, we did struggle to go through the centre. It happened a couple of times, one through Lucas Moura, where he gave it to Son, who volleyed it, with a good save from the keeper. That was one of the few times. So we got to work on that. But look, we got over the line. We kept going, we persevered, and we got the goal we deserved, probably.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But anyway, you get a point for that. I get 3 points. Moving on to Palace against West Ham. Finished 3-2 on the day. I went for 2-2. You went for 2-1. And you know what? I was watching this game, and I thought in the latter stages of this game, I really thought Palace were gonna get that equaliser, but it just wasn't to be at the end.
Yeah, I've been watching the highlights of this because I wasn't watching the full game. But Palace had way more chances than West Ham. It just seemed like West Ham were just clinical on the day. Yeah. Lanzini scored an absolute cracking goal.
What a goal that was, wasn't it?
One touch on his right, volley on his left. Absolutely sensational. That looked like it was a difference. And a stupid penalty right at the end of the first half as well, which Milahojlovic gave away. That made it 3-0, and all of a sudden that gave Palace a mountain to climb. And they nearly did it in the last 10 minutes. But in the first half, it was weird because Palace had all the chances, yet West Ham were going 3-0 up, and it probably flattered them. So I'd say they probably got a bit lucky to get the win in the end. But look, it's a solid win against a difficult Palace team, so you got to give them credit there as well. So good away win for West Ham.
Definitely, and keeping them up to scratch with the top 4 challenge as well. But moving on, Brentford against Aston Villa. I thought 5 points were coming my way when it went 1-0 to Brentford, but Brentford plugged in and got that winner.
I had 1-1. You had 2-1 Villa.
Sorry, I know. I thought Villa were going to go on and win the game, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But yeah, it went to 1-1, and I thought Villa were going to go on and win the game, but Brentford plugging away and got that winner. An impressive victory for Brentford. Obviously, you went 1-1, I went 2-1 to Villa, so no points for either of us in this one. But did you see any of it?
I was watching a bit of it, when I was sitting down on Sunday afternoon, and it was a decent game. I think Brentford, again, showing how difficult they are away from home. I always thought they were going to give Villa a difficult game, and Villa... maybe the honeymoon is finally over now with Gerrard. He's had a good start, but when you start losing these kind of games, then all of a sudden he realises how much work he really has to do. Because before it's only really been losses to who's it been City and Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
And that's it really. They've won every other game, but now they've lost away to Brentford. It's a very disappointing result for them, I would say. Brentford at home, always very, very difficult place for teams to go, and they're showing again what a decent team they've been this season in the Premier League after a bad run, near the start of the season. They're been very, very solid, and it's another good win for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Great goal for Wissa as well. I don't know if you saw it.
For who?
Wissa.
No, I didn't see any of the goals from this game, to be honest. Everton against Brighton finished 1-0 to Brighton on the day. 5 points to you. I went for 1-1.
It finished 3-2 to Brighton.
Oh, sorry, 3-2 to Brighton. Oh, yeah, it did finish 3-2. I'm not sure why it says 1-0 there, but anyway, finished 3-2 to Brighton. You get a point, I get 0 points. And you got to say, Brighton, however much off form they've been recently, last 3 games, 2 wins and a draw at Chelsea. So Brighton back at it.
Yeah, look, and even in their bad run, they didn't win from September up until a week ago. They didn't lose too many games. They get a lot of draws in that. I think they only lost 3 or 3 games. So they've actually still been plugging away. They've been unlucky. Maybe the quality of the squad holding them back. But Potter's doing a fantastic job. I'm sorry, he really is. And that win, another win for them. Really solid win. Alexander McAllister was brilliant. Scored a great goal. Scored 2 goals actually, but second one was a brilliant finish outside the box. And a great win for Brighton, who keep going on strong. In every game, even if they're not winning, it's always a close game. They never usually lose by more than 1, even if they lose. Yeah. And the football they play as well is really great. The first goal was a really good team goal. So good stuff from Brighton. And Everton really are in the shit with Rafa at the moment after another loss.
To be honest though, I think that Everton, in the latter stages of this game, they actually performed really well. And I thought they were going to get the equaliser.
Yeah, they might well have, but they didn't. And it's another defeat in what is a horrendous run.
Rafa looks really under pressure in the game on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw. He looked under pressure. And he definitely is under pressure. He's got to be probably the favourite to go next in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, if his results keep going like this, I mean, he can't buy a win at the moment except for against Arsenal. That was the only time. They've been horrendous ever since, I think, September. They've lost every game apart from the Arsenal game pretty much. Yeah. And they got a draw at Old Trafford. So he needs to really turn things around if he's going to be here by the end of the season. That doesn't look like at this rate.
Moving on, Leeds against Burnley finished 3-1 to Leeds on the day. I went for 2-1 to Leeds. You went to 1-0 to Burnley. So close to 5 points. So close. And Leeds getting that winner, that third goal right in the last kick of the game, really. But Leeds back to winning ways.
Yeah, and deservedly so from what I saw. They seem to dominate Burnley. Burnley did get back on level terms with a great corner free kick. He's back from injury, and he's back with a bang, showing that picking up where he left off before the injury. Great free kick. But Leeds were dominant throughout the game, and maybe this was the first sign for me of Leeds really being the Leeds from last season, because I haven't really seen it too much this season. Even in their wins, they've been 1-0 or last minute. But this game, they deserved the win. They were creating chances. They were bullying Burnley physically, with their pressing. So good day for Leeds, and got a great winner from Stuart Dallas as well on his left foot, curling into the far corner.
Yeah, and Leeds had a few players back from from injuries and whatever they had. So I don't think it was a surprise that they played well in this game, because they were missing key players in the previous weeks. So Leeds back at it, Leeds back to winning ways. Let's talk about Chelsea against Liverpool now, which finished 2-2. We both went for 2-1 to Liverpool, and it looked like it was going to be a landslide victory to Liverpool early doors, but Chelsea, credit to them, got back in the game, and I thought they played quite well after going 2-0 down, and I think Kovacic's goal was just such a brilliant finish, wasn't it?
Well, probably one of the goals of the season for Kovacic to hit that volley while walking backwards off balance, like with that technique as well, was absolutely outstanding. I've never seen it before in the Premier League, like in a long time, that kind of volley. With in those circumstances, I thought it was exceptional. Yeah. I thought Chelsea, to be honest, well worth the point. I think both sides had lots of chances, and both sides will probably be thinking what could have been if they had taken them. But I think Chelsea didn't deserve to be 2-0 down. When they were 2-0 down, they deserved to get back in the game as well. But Liverpool, it was a Salah and Mendy show at one point where Salah was peppering Mendy, and he was like, Mendy was the only man stopping him for a time. And there was one really great effort, wasn't there, from like 40 yards, which Mendy had to be his best to stop. And it showed Chelsea can play without Lukaku. But I would say as well, it suited them playing against Liverpool without Lukaku in a way, because they had Pulisic in the front three, and he was just able to exploit, just like we did a bit, exploit all that space that Liverpool leave. And that's why it worked for them. But when they come up against a team who are going to sit back and make it difficult for them, Pulisic will be nullified in that kind of formation. That's when they need Lukaku. So he looks like he's going back in the fold. So that's interesting. But I thought it was a great game of football, one of the games of the season, and two teams. Probably the winner of this game was Man City.
All right, that's definitely. It looks like Man City are just strolling to the title at the moment, doesn't it?
That's the thing. They're 10 points clear now. They're so consistent as well. Even when they don't play well, they seem to just scrape wins, win and a win, because they always have control. So with Liverpool now missing Mane and Salah for the month, Chelsea not really hitting any sort of form that looks
Ederson's,
like...
Mendy's going to be a big miss for them, isn't it?
For sure, especially with Kepa coming in. But as well, that even with him, they're not hitting the form that you need to have a title challenge. So at the moment, it's City's to lose, and it's going to be a massive month for them, because they're only missing Mahrez. I think everyone else is staying. So if City have another great month and Liverpool really suffer from the absence of Mane and Salah, that it could be over by the end of January.
Yeah, really could. All right, let's move over to the last game of the weekend, which was last night's game. Manchester United against Wolves. It finished 1-0 to Wolves on the night, and I thought Wolves were brilliant. They were breathtaking at times in this game, completely overrunning Manchester United. I mean, you went 2-1 to Man United.
I didn't actually. I went 1-0 I went 1-1 actually.
Sorry, you went 1-1 and I went 1-0 to Man United on the night. And I thought Man United were terrible. They were really, really bad in this game. And, Wolves, in the first opening 10 minutes, they already had 3 or 4 shots on target. And they were just peppering Wolves. I mean, they were peppering Man United. And if Wolves had a bit more end product, this could have been a bit of a cricket score, this game.
Yeah, they completely deserved it. It was Wolves were completely in control of this whole game. And Man United only had one spell maybe in the second half where Bruno hit the bar, and then Ronaldo had a goal ruled out for offside. That was like a little moment United had. But throughout the game, Wolves were comfortable, really comfortable. And this 4-2-2-2 formation Man United were playing with McTominay and Matic didn't seem to work at all. They couldn't get into the game whatsoever. They weren't able to create any sort of serious chances. They struggled big time, Man United, really, really big time. And if this is evidence of things, then maybe Rangnick isn't going to improve things anytime soon, because they seem lost. Like they don't really know what they're doing or how to implement his system at the moment. And maybe we're starting to see why no one was really that keen on Rangnick to get him in before Man United got him. Because I don't know, at the moment, I'm not seeing it. It's a bit like Spurs under Nuno, where they got those early results, but the results papered over what were really poor performances.
Yeah.
And it was very similar to Spurs under Nuno, where we were saying, even though we were winning, when we were happy, it was like it only needed one bad result for everyone to see, okay, it's actually the performances do matter. And I think we might be seeing that now under Rangnick, because they were terrible against Norwich, terrible against Newcastle, should have lost both those games, didn't. But now against Wolves, their luck ran out, and they completely deserve to lose.
Yeah, it's probably the highest quality side, Wolves, that they've faced since Rangnick has come in as well. What a goal as well by João Moutinho. Really great finish to find that bottom corner like he did. In terms of Adama Traore, heavily linked with Spurs at the moment. I mean, I'm seeing all these compilations of his game against Man United yesterday, and it baffles me why people are getting so excited about a cross that goes in and Wolves and Man United header out, and then Moutinho picks one out the bag. That just baffles me. What's going on right now?
I thought that was interesting. I thought I was very, because I understand, he got a cross in, so he was kind of involved in the goal. But for some reason, they got every Tottenham fan excited on Twitter. I was very confused. The cross came in and it got headed out. I don't know why everyone's going mad. Like, I'm seeing people tweet the video saying, "Sign him up now."
Yeah.
It was a cross that got we have Emerson for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't understand that, but. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Adama Traore, and I want him at Tottenham, and I think he could be a weapon for us. That, as I've said before, I just think he offers something so unique. If we can harness that in a way which could help us, then I think it could be a great signing. But quickly, just talking on Wolves, not only a win, but they've been on good form recently defensively. I think they've conceded 4 goals in their last 9 games or something.
How many have they scored
really
though?
have been solid.
How many have they scored though?
No, they haven't scored many, but it shows how tough they are to play against and how.
I've been banging on about Wolves all season. I've been impressed with them ever since day one of this season. I really have. I know they didn't get the results early on in the season, but I felt they were always playing good football. And I've been really impressed with their manager, really impressed with the system he's got in place, and really impressed with the whole lot, to be honest. I think they're onto something there.
They've only scored 14 goals, but if they could. They've got such a solid backline at the moment. If they can get a few more, if they can start creating a few more chances, not even chances, they do create, they just don't score. Yeah. So if they can just get a goal scorer there or something, they could be a lot better team. But at the moment, I can't see them threatening the top 6. But that system is there. If they can get a few more improvements individually, who knows?
Yeah, I got a feeling as well, once Pedro Neto comes back as well, they might be more of a threat going forward as well.
Neto, exactly, great player. So he's also one to watch out for when he comes back.
Yeah. All right, so that is the end of the predictions. Let's move over to the star men. I chose Harry Kane again. Sim chose Heung-min Son. Sonny gets 1 point for his assist in the goal. Kane gets no points. So it ends off on 252 to Simeon, 224 to me. So the gap growing a little bit again this week. But we'll be back for another episode of Predict the Prem. Not for a while now, actually, seeing as it's FA Cup this weekend. So we'll be back next week for the North London Derby edition. So looking forward to that one. Sim, we'll speak to you very, very soon. But yeah. All right. Like, subscribe and comment, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.